Hola amigos, I'm back with another video. And I'm really excited to talk about this one. I'm excited to talk about every topic because, I don't know, maybe I'm a yapper at heart and I just didn't realize it, but I do think a lot. So I also think that I'm not the best at articulating what I want to say. I am better when it comes to writing, but I'm trying my best. I do have a lot of thoughts though. And today we're going to talk about thankfulness. I feel like I'm giving a class to a bunch of second graders. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. I want to talk about this because a really, really interesting thing that I think people don't think about or consider is thank you and what it really actually means and what it's saying. Because I think that to give you an example, I thought about this a lot. I was out one day with my cousin and they were on the phone talking to someone and they were leaving the building. So the person who was a stranger walking in front of us decided to open up the door for my cousin, and my cousin walked through. And because they were on the phone, they were clearly talking to someone else. And the person who had opened the door said, "You're welcome," like that, and then walked away. And my cousin was so distraught. They were like, "Well, what the heck?" And then they looked at me and they said, "If the entire point of you opening the door for me in that kind gesture was just so you could hear me say thank you, then don't open the door at all." And I thought about this for so long. This is such a honestly, this is an interesting topic because I thought about the fact that I shouldn't be expecting thank yous when I give things because that's my love language. My love language is gift giving. But people receive differently. Sometimes people aren't. Sometimes it is what it is. Some people aren't entirely like super grateful or practice gratefulness. They're not used to recognizing things like that. And that doesn't mean they don't like you or that they don't like the gift or they don't, they shouldn't say something. It just means that they're just not fully aware of gratefulness in their own life or what that does and what that does to others truly. And I kept thinking about this because again, giving is my love language, whether it's something small or big or super thoughtful or just something I randomly saw. Giving is such a big deal for me. And I thought about this a lot because I'm like, when I give somebody something, I should not be expecting to hear thank you. I should give it out of the kindness of my heart because that's what I've been told. I should be giving out of the kindness of my heart, which, yes, and I shouldn't be expecting a thank you back. But I can't tell you, I mean, obviously that's hard, especially growing up, me trying to like internalize that. But I can't tell you what a thank you does, especially an enthusiastic thank you, because thank you is a very conditioned phrase. But you'd be surprised what a tone of voice can do and just saying it can do. Like saying thank you is so important. And it is more for the other person. And I truly believe, like, I'm going crazy. Like, that's why I'm super enthusiastic about my thank yous. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And a lot of people are not like that. Some people are not like that. Some people, they kind of internalize what you give them, or they don't really show it on the outside. They don't really express. My sister's that way. And she didn't realize that by internalizing her thank yous or just saying thank you in a super like, oh, thank you, like a super non-enthusiastic way, because that's not what she is. She's not like a performer. She's not going to give you a whole like dance routine because you gave them something or you did something for them, or you for example, I have my sister, she was being given something for Valentine's Day, and it was like this big show of like admiration and love and affection, and it's really, really sweet and beautiful. And she kind of was just like, oh, this is nice, wow, like, and I think it was during that period of time, like she was also had a birthday coming up, same situation, like it was during that period of time that, because I know my sister, I know her enough to know that if I get her something, I should not be expecting this grandiose, this huge, like, oh my God, thank you so much. I should not be expecting that because that's not who she is. And there's quite a few people who are conditioned like that. However, I think my sister kind of, again, we live in a society has rules, and in order for the wheel to turn sometimes, and in order for like people, because people have feelings and people expect things and things are, anyway, it's work. But I think my sister understood it, and finally it clicked for her, like, whoa, I'm low-key, or I'm kind of hurting the people that I love by not being more expressive with my thank you. And nobody told her, I mean, I think I told her the reason. Nobody told her you need to change or that wasn't right, you know? Nobody told her that. But I think she kind of understood it herself and was like, huh, why are people a little bit sad when, you know, they give me things? Or she just kind of started like asking herself the questions. And I was like, the reason. And I was like, hey, I'm used to it. I know you. I've grown up with you. Christmas, birthdays. Like, I know that when you receive a gift, it could be your favorite thing in the world, but you're not too expressive about it. If you want people to feel good, if you want people to understand that you appreciate what they did for you, if you want people to get the message that what they did was something that you love, that you appreciate, is something important, if you want that person to feel important for like 2 seconds, you're going to have to work a little harder with your thank yous. You're going to have to be more expressive. You're going to have to work at it a little bit. You can keep going and you can keep being super internal and super like not expressive about your thank yous and stuff. You can keep going like that. Just know that when you do that, most people expect this and you give them this. And although that doesn't mean that they're going to stop giving you gifts, that they're going to stop loving you, they're just going to get used to, like, especially newer people, they're going to get used to that and they're going to understand you eventually. But understand that that kind of low-key maybe hurts a little bit, and it's no one's fault really. Like, we're expected to hear thank you, and the more enthusiastic you are about it, like, you don't have to like jump in a pool, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be crazy, because I'm a little bit like that, but definitely show it. It's 1000% for the other person, especially if you truly love it. You know what I mean? Especially if you truly appreciate it so much. Like, I can't tell you how much a genuine thank you goes. They didn't, like, if someone gives you their kidney, I sure hope you don't have to, but you can. It means so much to the other person, especially when someone has done something for you that you absolutely needed. Like, I don't know, cover your rent or go out of their way to take you to the airport. It means so much when you are genuine with your thank yous. And no, you don't have to do, like I just said, a gymnastics routine, but it does mean so much when you can sit there and just be like, I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much. Use your words. If you're not super expressive, use your words. Because listen, my sister, and I know a lot of other people who are that similar kind of like personality type, aren't super big on like expressing the thank you. Again, you don't have to do this. This is not necessary. Like, nobody should force you to feel like you need to like put on a show or be fake. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that if you want that other person to understand something, you might have to use more words, and you might have to use more of yourself. You might have to, it's gonna require a little bit of giving, especially when that's like the exchange, right? When they've given you something, they're not asking you to pull out your wallet and take out money and give it to them. That's not what they're asking. No one's truly asking anything. It means the world when it means a lot, and it kind of feels like a priority, or you make the person feel like a priority, you make the person feel important, and letting people, especially the people you love in your life, feel important and feel prioritized, especially when they have given you something that they thought about, that they put their energy into, that they put their efforts into, that could have gone elsewhere. And that truly is what a thank you is. And I was trying to explain this to some of the kids at school and some of the kids at my when I was working at the church as well. Like, they don't have to do a thing for you. No one has to do anything for you unless you're paying them a service and you have a contract. No one has to be nice. No one has to like pick up the money that fell out of your pocket and give it back to you. Nobody has to take you to the airport or help you move. Nobody has to like give you a birthday gift. It's not a requirement. And truthfully, the friendship will probably continue if you do those things or not. Especially family members, right? Like, my sister doesn't suddenly stop deciding to be my sister if I stop giving her Christmas and birthday gifts. Does that make sense? Why am I so nasally right now? Nobody has to do a thing for you. It's true. Nobody has to do a thing for you. And this isn't me making a video saying you have to go give people gifts. I'm saying that I think it's important to make the people that you love in your life feel important. And if it's a stranger as well, somebody who like went out of their way to return your phone to you, or like saying thank you and being genuine about how you say it, is so important. Like, I think it's like, no, you shouldn't do things looking for the thank you. And that's gonna happen. You're just gonna walk around life opening doors for people and helping people and smiling at people and doing good things for people just out of the kindness of your heart. And they're not gonna say thank you to you. That's expected. That's understood. Nobody, I mean, at least I don't. I'm not walking around waiting to hear your thank you, because it's okay, especially for strangers. And I'm not waiting for, if I'm doing something, you know, I'm doing it because we're all human and we're on this planet together at the end of it. But I can't tell you how good it makes me feel to hear thank you, especially from a stranger or from a loved one, obviously. But yeah, I think it's important to remember that sometimes people don't really teach this. People don't really talk about this. Sometimes kids learn from their parents, and my mom is also similar. When you give her a gift, she's a little bit more passive about it. It just really depends. My dad's one of those people that will tell you straight up whether or not they like the gift or not, which I think is a whole different conversation. We might be able to make a video about that, but I do think that saying thank you, you should practice it. And it's not just like the typical just say thank you because society, you know, thank you, you know, like super monotone, it just leaves your mouth and it doesn't really. I need you to feel it for 2 seconds. I need you to stop time and I need you to feel it for 2 seconds. I need you to understand that this person did something that they did not have to do. That this person is trying to show you through a physical act or object that they care, love you, and thought about you for a period of time, and that they took all of that love that they have for you and all the thoughts that they had of you and did something about it, and took their hard-earned money, took their time, which is worth a lot, and their efforts to do something for you. Nobody has to do a thing for you. Nobody has to give you anything unless you are a minor and you have an adult and you have a parent looking after you. That's the only person who needs to be giving you stuff. But nobody else has to do a thing for you. It is out of kindness. It is out of love. And so knowing that the love people give us should not be squandered or wasted or thrown up in the air or, you know, automatic. That's the big one. Ooh, we could talk about that. People's love for you. Some people treat the love that people give them as an automatic, as something that they are owed, that's something that they're deserved, you know, from friendships, from siblings, from parents, from parents, I understand, that's a whole different conversation. But from loved ones, relationships, whatever the heck, some people behave as though love is owed to them. And that is true. I understand that, actually. And I think it makes sense. Like, there's unconditional love and there's the expectation and there's certain things that go with, like, yeah, I do deserve to be loved. Duh, I'm me. And yes, you do. You are you, and you do deserve to be loved. And I think it's important to, in your own way, because this is someone you love as well, in your own way, tell them, use your words. And if it's not something you're good at or used to, then that's where practice comes in, and that's where effort comes in, because my sister recognized that in herself, and I'm using her as an example. I truly love her. And again, nobody ever told her to like switch it up. She did this out of her own like willpower. She's like, I need to change how I'm reacting to these things a little bit. She didn't become a whole new person. She didn't suddenly become fake or switch up. She said, I wanted to show the person that's, you know, that I love, that I see them, I hear them, and I recognize what they did. So I'm going to put a little bit more effort when I'm interacting with them. That's all. That's it. That was the whole thing. That was the whole piece. And I think that that's important. That's super important. And I think that it's not something to like manipulate people or kind of withhold people. It's just really something that you do out of kindness for those who show you kindness. And hopefully I'm making sense here. Hopefully I'm not trying to sound like I told you, not my whole life, but for a long time I was trying to go about the whole, you shouldn't be expecting thank yous when you do things. And I think that's true. I think there's a lot to be said there. But it's also true to like articulate and show the people you love that you're grateful. Because that means a lot, and we're all humans and we're all fragile, and truthfully, imagine going the rest of your life loving on people and never hearing thank you ever again. It's gonna sting a little bit. It just is. And when I was working with at the elementary school with kids who were on the spectrum, you like almost, some of the things that the teachers and the parents were doing for these kids were like far more than what the other kids their age needed. So neurotypical kids not only need less like of you because they're a little bit more, sometimes a little bit more independent. I'm so nasally right now. But they also are way more used to saying thank you, while some of the kids on the spectrum that we were working with specifically were either nonverbal or just wouldn't say thank you when you would do things for them, because they would often need your help more than other kids and the neurotypical kids. And I just kept going that school year and kept thinking to myself, wow, I can't imagine, like, I mean, I can because I'm going through it, but like, it's so interesting to be doing like so much for this kid who I care about so much, and I would do it for them no matter what. But it's interesting that I'm probably never gonna get a thank you, and that's okay. That's that's part of the job. But it really just made me think like, I feel for their parents who might go through life, you know, doing like a lot for their kids, which of course, and not hearing a thank you ever. It's, the work's gonna get done. The parents are gonna, those parents are gonna work for their kids, and so are the teachers, and they're gonna do everything for their kids, whether they hear a thank you or not. But just imagine, I mean, for example, like if I have a dog and I'm doing everything for my dog or my pet or whatever, the way they say thank you is how they love me and how they approach me and protect me. And those kids say thank you in their own way by expressing themselves. And it can be a little bit harder when you can't hear it, but the parents end up learning the kids, and so did we. And then, you know, that doesn't matter as much. So I'm not saying you have to change. I'm not saying that you need to be a different person. I just think that we should be grateful and show it if we are able to, you know, because some people, you know, may never. So yeah, some people may never hear it. So just keep that in mind. And if you're one of those people who have a hard time being super expressive when you're thanking people or when you're being given things, that's okay. It's okay. And the people in your life know you, and the people in your life know how you are. So it's okay. But just remember that every once in a while, some people just want to hear I love you. Some people just want to hear thank you. Just most people actually would really appreciate that. And yeah. Pero that's such an interesting video. I don't know. I thought it was a little Christmassy. It's actually giving more Thanksgiving, but thanks so much for watching. Bye. Bye.